what is that MMR type of invasions you were talking in one of your videos? You are most likely aware what is ELO system, but just in case if you are not. ELO system is essentially a number that's kind of supposed to represent the advancement of yours. For every win or defeat, you are either gaining number or you are losing number. Let's say like you are starting with 1000 ELO, and if you are going to win against someone that has 2000 ELO, then you are going to get like, let's say 50 points. So you are going to have 1050 ELO overall. If you are going to lose against someone that is more or less on the same amount of ELO, so right now you have 1050, then you are losing against someone that has also 1050, you end up in situation that you have right now the loss of, let's say, only 10 instead of like 50. Like you would, like, you know, like you gained 50, you are not losing 50 because the opponent is like on your skill level. If you would lose to someone that is on the way worse elo than you would get essentially you would lose essentially way more points. That system is used in little bit edited form by many games to create so-called skill-based matchmaking. Based on your equivalent of ELO, in the multiplayer games it is usually called MMR, which means matchmaking rate. Like your rating is also changing depending like who you are beating and if you are beating someone. Ultimately you end up being placed in the lobbies with other players that have similar MMR to yours, which creates situation that, at least according to that system, you are going to be, at least in theory, fairly placed against people that have similar results to yours. It can be done in like a few ways. You can like have like a stable number and there is no way you are going to match against someone outside of it. But usually how the game's doing that is if you spend certain amount of time in the lobby and you cannot find people to play with, then you ending up with the situation that at some point you're gonna get matched with people way outside of your elo. And I think it would be relatively fair and decent idea to have similar system like that in this game. So people like, for example, me, that spend shit tons of time playing the game and overall like usually just it doesn't feel unfair. It does feel unfair for like regular players that going through the game for the sake of to meet someone that is completely prepared for the PvP, yeah? So it would be nice if I simply would have a lower chance for the sake of to meet them, yeah? That's what I meant by MMR system in the different video. Like, I would love to be prioritized to play against people that have confirmed experience with the game. I do not mean to make it so it is impossible to match someone outside of your MMR, I have no idea how you pronounce that, MMR range, yeah? Essentially, just would have the system that would prioritize people that are on more or less your skill level, at least according to the system. Like, for example, you have these gankers, yeah, that are like very successful currently with the Murkwater Cave, yeah? Like, these gamers constantly killing others, so their elo would grow at some point, and just regular invader that is like, that absolutely stands no chance to beat them, because like they are just casual invaders, for example. A person like that very likely just simply won't invade such a gang squad. Whereas me, I would have a higher chance to invade them, which is absolutely fine. It's really kind of up to how such system would be potentially implemented. Because skill-based matchmaking is not a bad thing, but sometimes it is also not a good thing. That's too much for From. You see, you say that, But would you ever expect From Software to do fucking changes like they are doing for the last 3 patches? From Software is so incredibly innovative in comparison to their previous titles with Elden Ring. I actually expect anything at this point. Wouldn't surprise me if they would end up making the actual MMR system of some sort. Skill-based matchmaking won't really work as long as the game is rock paper build. From has done a lot for balance, but there is still a mountain of issues. I disagree. What would happen is you would have good players being faced more against each other. I can understand that like in the caves and so on, that might be an issue. But in the open world, you can absolutely beat the good players that even cooperating. I mean, like, we have seen it many times, yeah. I would say, like, from my perspective, for example, like, the casuals want to play against casuals. They don't want to play against fucking people that are fucking good at the game. Or, like, you know, much better than they are. Let them do that. Let them play against people that, you know, have similar idea how to play the game to them. Like, it's gonna be just more fun for them. And let people like me play against people that either try harding or are just very good at the game. You like to play versus good player? I'll learn that way. Yeah, same. I absolutely love to play against people that are better than me in any game imaginable, but most people don't. That being said, like, if you want to improve and you have like a kind of mentality that, yeah, you want to work on yourself, you're going to escape the elo that makes you play against not that great of players. If you get stomped as newer player, you don't learn anything. Depends on your approach to the game. Like, when I am getting stomped in the new game, I usually learn a lot. But I have that mentality of constantly looking for, you know, some sort of the ways to improve on the gameplay. So I'm just carefully looking how better player plays and so on. The MMR system in Dark Souls could take into consideration, for an example, like, you know, also like kind of level of the phantoms, let's say, and so on, which would be also very nice because, like, people like me, I know how to deal with over-leveled phantoms, yeah? I have the tools to do that. But imagine if some sort of for fun gamer just jumps in and getting instantly bodied because, like, he gets the salvage of the projectiles on his face. Doesn't want to or doesn't have skill to even, like, do, like, basic shit, like, you know, that type of swap. They either have to sit with that Bloodhound step throughout the whole invasions or just die. Because sometimes you just cannot dodge shit if you do not have that Bloodhound step prepared. Like, especially if you have multiple mages or incantation casters that just spam you with their shit. You are ultimately getting absolutely destroyed within the second. And it is more likely that, like, a high-level phantom is going to indeed, like, spam you with the projectiles of this type. Yet again, skill-based matchmaking, no matter the game, is always a good thing, as long as it is implemented with a proper thought process. In case of this game, though, we probably would have to, like, see the rework of the whole invasion system. So yeah, it's probably not happening in Elden Ring, but who knows? Yet again, like, these developers are crazy. Like, last 3 patches are just insane type of changes that I would never expect.